We are 8 weeks away from Unstoppable Women. So if you haven't heard about this event and this is the first time you're hearing of it, oh my gosh, where have you been? It is time to check out the details. It is a full day transformational event happening in Brisbane on the 29th of August at the Brisbane Entertainment and Convention Centre. This is about shaking up the events industry and giving you a transformational event that's going to change the way that you think about business, the way you think about yourself, and the way that you show up online and in business. Every single speaker has been curated to create an incredible experience for you. So I want you to think the mix between Tony Robbins and Business Cheeks. It's not just about motivation. It's not just about taking notes. It's about shifting something within you. From incredible speakers like Erica Kramer, the Queen of Confidence, Tina Tower, who's the founder of Her Empire Builder, and Annika Odendahl from Pink Sparrow Social, I cannot wait to help you change the game this year for you and your business. So if you have not got your tickets yet, it is time to secure your spot. There are Bring a Bestie tickets. So if you want to bring a friend along so you're not alone and you won't be alone afterwards because you'll be making a whole bunch of new business besties. But grab your business bestie ticket now before they run out. And VIPs, I think there's only like 5 left. So you better grab your ticket ASAP. Check out the link in the show notes to grab your ticket now. Welcome to the Next Level Life podcast with Christine Corcoran. This podcast is made for the powerhouse businesswomen who are ready to ignite their fullest potential. This is where we will dive deep into the mindset breakthroughs and sprinkle in some kick up the butt motivation so you can scale your business with confidence and clarity. Whether you're craving more income, impact, or inspiration, this podcast will be your ultimate resource for all things next level. Listen in as we have authentic conversations with game-changing female entrepreneurs as we reveal the secrets of what it takes to rise and thrive. So go ahead, ignite your inner fire, and let's get you taking massive aligned action. Are you ready to elevate? Let's go. Hey, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you so much for hitting download. Today I want to talk about the 5 sales habits that built my first 10K month and what continue to help grow and scale my business. And often we just think, oh, it's got to be this amazing next level strategy that we put into place in our business. And look, sometimes yes, but majority of the time, it's the consistent habits that you're doing in your business that generate the results. And what I often see so many times that I have any women come into Unstoppable Sales, it's they're usually focusing on things that don't move the needle in their business. They're getting so caught up in just consistently delivering what they're doing for their clients. They're getting stuck in delivery mode and they're not focused on sales activities. And so what I help to do within Unstoppable Sales is not only create the strategy, which is great, so you know what to focus your attention on, but we get really clear on those specific sales activities that are going to move the needle in your business. And a majority of the time, like it is always so fascinating to me that we can create the most simplest of sales strategies, but it's actually not the specific strategy. It's actually the consistency of that strategy. So how you're being kept accountable to ensure that you're focusing on the most important things in your business and refocusing on your goals and focusing on the things that move the needle in your business. So today, I want to talk to you about the 5 sales habits that have built my first 10K month without launching any group program or any mastermind or anything like that. This is like back in the day when I first hit 10K. And then I want to talk to you about how I've consistently done certain habits in my business to support the growth and scalability of my business. So if that sounds like something for you, then definitely stick around. And I want to share with you 2 core things that you need to be aware of. 1, if anything I share in today's episode are things that you're not doing in your business, then it might be time to actually get support to move the needle and to start to actually make good money in your business. You deserve to earn good money. Honestly, you really do. You have a service that is valuable for people to buy, and usually it's getting it out there in the market and making sure that there's really clear messaging and making sure that it's hitting home for the right people and getting really clear on who you're targeting. And so before we dive into the episode, I want to talk to you about 2 core things that you absolutely need to be aware of what's happening right now as you're hitting download on this episode. So as it is for the 28th of July, there are a couple of things you need to be aware of. 1, if you would love to speak on the Unstoppable Women stage, the opportunity to put your entry in for that speaker competition is going to close this week. So you need to uncover what your unstoppable moment of business has been and share it on your social media in order to be in the draw to be on that stage. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, head to the Instagram account unstoppablewomen.au, which is an incredible event that I'm hosting at the end of August, which I'm sure you're aware of because we started the episode talking about it, and also it's coming up really fast, and I'm sure you've seen it all over my socials. So if you haven't got your ticket yet, get your ticket because it is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I literally sit in massive excitement every time I'm working on the event. And I've been working like probably 6 days a week at the moment because it does take a lot of time and energy to bring an event like this to life. And so I've been working on it over the weekend, and it just brings me so much excitement and joy because I have such awesome things in store for you, and I cannot wait for you to be in that room. So all you need to do though is get yourself in that room. I'll take care of the rest, just get yourself in that room. And if you would love to speak on the stage, put your entry in for the speaker competition. So that's the first thing. Secondly, Unstoppable Women tickets will go up in price at the end of this week. So again, if you haven't got your ticket yet and you have been going thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to go to that, but you haven't booked your ticket yet, you need to book it now. Otherwise it's going to cost you more. So make sure that you grab your ticket ASAP. The link is in the show notes. And thirdly, before we get into the episode, the doors to Unstoppable sales are currently open, which means you get to enroll in this incredible transformational program that'll help you hit 10K months with ease, give you the strategy, give you the specific sales activities, and make sure that you're working on your money mindset so you can step up into that next level of growth within your business. So if you've been petering around like a couple of K every month and you're really frustrated with where your income is really inconsistent, you feel like you don't really know where your next client is going to come from, and you wish that business was so much easier, this is for you. So stop waiting around, check out the details. The link is in the show notes. Come and join me for the next 4 months where it's going to be so supportive, so transformational, as well as giving the accountability to activate the strategies that I'm going to talk about in today's episode. Because if you're not taking action on these things, and it's not always the same things for every single business, it's going to be different depending on your business and your ideal client. But if you're not taking action on things that actually move the needle in your business, then you most likely need that support. And it's such a beautiful, supportive community. Honestly, it's such a beautiful group of women, always, because I only attract the really genuine people that have such integrity, that want to support other people and lift up the other people up. And they're often stuck in a little bit of people pleasing because that's where I've come from, or they are stressed about money, or they really want to make a positive impact in this world. So if that is you, come and join us in Unstoppable Sales before the doors close on Tuesday, the 29th at 6 p.m. So make sure you jump in ASAP, because otherwise you're going to miss out, and it's going to be another 4 months. And before you know it, it'll be the end of the bloody year, and you'll be stressing about Christmas and there's no money coming in. And then before you know it, it's January. It's another month where no money is coming in because you haven't spent the time working on your business. This is the time. This is the perfect time to work on your sales, to work on your business, and to work on yourself in order for you to hit your next level of income in your business. All right, so let's talk about creating consistent 10K months. And I'm going to talk about the 5 sales habits that I built into my business to make that happen without having to add a program or a course or anything else like that. It was just genuine one-to-one clients. So if that's you, no matter what service that you have, so this is very much directed towards service-based businesses, then I want to share with you a couple of things that I would have focused on if I was you to hit your 10K months. All right. First and foremost, you need to get really clear on what it is that you are selling. So if you want to hit 10K in August, let's say, what is the one main offer you're going to sell? And is it possible for you to actually hit 10K months with that specific offer? So first up, you need to do the math. You need to do the math to see whether it is and how many you need to sell of that offer in order for you to be able to hit 10K months, because you need to have a target. If you don't have a goal, a target in mind, then you're often just winging it and you have no real plan in place. And sometimes this is one of the things that people avoid in business is we kind of go, well, I love what I do and I just want to serve more people, which is amazing. But you do need to treat your business like a business. It needs attention in order for it to grow. So first and foremost, what is your high ticket offer that you are going to sell in August? Get really clear on that. Look at the pricing. Look at how many of those do you need to sell in order for you to hit your goal. Secondly, we need to prioritize connecting over content. So if I was you, I would be looking at what are ways that I'm developing connections to create conversations in my business, right? Over content. Like content is important. Yes, we know, like it needs to look like your shop is open. For instance, like if you look at your Instagram or your Facebook, wherever you spend your most time, you need to look at that as your shop front. So if you are not visible on your shop front and people don't know that you're open and available to work with, then they'll just scroll on to the next person. So yes, you do need to have active content. You don't have to be constantly posting though, not at all. You could be putting up 1 story a day. You could be putting up 3 posts a week, like whatever it might be. But you need to be prioritizing connection over content. So I would be looking at how am I developing relationships and how am I connecting with more people online or in person. So I would look at prioritizing whether you are joining groups, whether you're spending time in Facebook groups, whether you're joining groups that do online virtual coffee catch-ups, whether you are investing in communities, whether you are going to networking events. I would be looking at the month ahead and be like, where am I going to prioritize that connection? Okay? Because majority of the time at that stage of business, people are going to buy from you because they really need your service and they like you and they want to work with you. So making sure that you're prioritizing that connection will help support you in having people to follow up and having people to have those connections with in order to convert. So that's number 2. So number 1, know what you need to sell and how many you need to sell of it. Number 2, prioritize connecting over content, right? Number 3 is know your ideal client inside and out, because you should know who you want to connect with, and that is not everyone. So if you're going to networking events and being like, oh, I'll work with anyone, whoever's ready to spend money with me, I'll work with anyone, you're going about it the wrong way. You need to really be clear on who it is that you truly want to work with, who really needs your service, and who you need to focus on in order to fill your leads list. So I would get super clear on who that ideal client is. I would spend time doing a bit of market research, and that could just be conversations that I'm having. So I'm going into a networking event with an intention around finding service-based business women who are wanting to hit 10K months. That would be my ideal client specific for unstoppable sales, right? And usually they are doing a bit of people pleasing. Usually they are stuck in not knowing where to spend their time within their business. They're usually over servicing, over delivering, possibly undercharging. And so I really go to those intentional events being like, who can I connect with? And I want to be interested and curious on what is going on for them, so that I'm making sure that everything that I'm doing within my business is directed towards them, right? So all my content, and I'm getting ideas for content through those conversations. So know your ideal client inside and out, because that will also help you to develop your leads list, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But like going on, when you're spending intentional time online, are you looking for those people, or are you just posting and scrolling? Posting and scrolling is going to get you nowhere. It's going to get you nowhere. It's going to end up being the same place in 6 months' time, being like, why aren't people buying from me? Why aren't people DMing me? It's because you need to go first. You need to be the leader rather than the follower. So I would intentionally be spending time online connecting and collaborating with other people. So finding ways to develop more conversations and develop more connections. So I'm approaching social media from a place of being social rather from a place of selling, right? So I would be spending 10 to 15 minutes a day connecting, commenting on other people's posts, sending DMs, sending follower DMs, like all of the things that develop those connections and relationships, and really focusing on it being a friendship first than it is about selling anything, right? Okay, step 4 is your focus. Where your focus is will determine your results. So if you're focusing on what's not working, you'll most likely create more of things that aren't working. But if your focus goes on what is actually working, and you're really intentionally focusing on supporting those relationships, connections, and developing opportunities for you to share what it is that you do, you're more likely to have a better outcome. So where your focus goes, right? So if your focus is working in the business rather than on the business, again, you're going to have the same types of results. So when I was thinking about like hitting 10K months, I was like, 1, yes, get to know my ideal client, create as many connections as possible. 2, what am I focusing on? My focus is that I have these many spots to fill, right? I'm making sure that I'm creating opportunities in my business for those spots to be filled. I'm acting as if those spaces are going to be filled, right? I'm trusting in every action that I'm taking, it's going to generate the results that I'm looking for. And I'm really making sure that I'm staying focused with what my intention is that week and that fortnight and that month, right? So I'm getting really, really clear on my specific activities that I need to be spending my time on in order for me to get the results that I'm looking for. So I always ask myself, like, where's my focus today? What's my outcome? What's the result that I want to achieve today? And if you can keep your focus on those outcomes of I want 5 people signing up or however many people you need to sign up, that's where my focus is, then you're more likely to come back to the things that will move the needle forward in your business, which is creating those connections, focusing on what it is that you're selling, getting really clear on your ideal client, right? So making sure, or being visible is the other thing, right? Like it's like, if my shop front doesn't look like it's open, then how can I make it more visible that I'm open? How can I be in front of more people? How can I create more consistency? And how can I be visible? How can I be so visible to people that they're like, oh, that she's doing something, I want to be a part of whatever it is that she's doing, right? So your focus is everything. And usually what can often happen is we get so caught up in doing the busy admin stuff, which actually doesn't move the needle. So I always ask myself, like, where's my focus? And what's my intention today? So I'm making sure that I'm executing on the things that are the most important. All right. Then that brings me to number 5. Track your leads and track your goals. If you are not measuring whether you're getting further along in your business goals or whether you're getting further away from those, that's mostly where you're getting stuck. And this is often what happens when I have anyone come into Unstoppable Sales. They either haven't set goals because they felt bad not hitting them in the past, or They're not using goals in a really effective way that'll actually support the growth of their business. They're treating goals as these things to beat themselves up with because they don't hit them, instead of actually looking at how you're measuring the output, right? Because your output will determine your results. So if you're not measuring your output, then you're most likely not knowing what's working and what's not working. So tracking your leads, tracking your actions, where are you spending your time in your business? This will start to shift things so massively in your business because you realize you waste time on stuff that is not important. So track your goals. So rather than being like, I'm going to set a goal for the month and then never look at it for the rest of the month, that's most likely an issue, right? So I would look at the end of the week, I would check in and be like, okay, what worked, what didn't work? How much closer did I get to my goal? And so sometimes it's like looking at your goal and like, okay, I need 5 people to sign up. And then my sign up process is through a sales call, but I haven't booked any sales calls this week. Then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm not any closer to where I need to be. What do I need to focus on next week in order for me to get more sales calls booked into my calendar? I need to focus on those connections. Did I prioritize that time making those connections online? Why didn't I do that? Not from a place of judgment or berating yourself, from a place of, what can I learn from this in order to get better? What can I learn from this in order to get better? So I track everything. Track your leads, track your time, track where you're spending your time and energy, and what output are you creating? Because if you spent 4 hours working on content and you only produce one piece of content, that's an issue. And yes, there's always going to be earlier stages in your business where you're learning and you're trying to get better at things, and things do take a little bit longer, and that's okay. But the more you track it and measure it, you will always get better. 100%. Like, honestly, it's one of those things that I feel like anytime I'm not tracking goals, I'm not achieving anything. And so again, don't beat yourself up when you don't do it. Learn from it. So track your leads. Do you have somewhere that actually tracks this? It's another thing that constantly happens within Unstoppable Sales, where I see like, cool, where are you tracking this? Are you tracking your leads? Are you knowing what a warm lead is versus a cold lead? Are you measuring whether you're getting further away or closer to your goals? So track, you will find that you will learn so much about yourself. You will learn so much about where you're holding yourself back, where you're sabotaging your success, where you are wasting time. And then you will start to see, okay, how can I treat this more like a business and start showing up and prioritizing those sales activities that will actually move the needle in my business? I hope this has opened your eyes a lot. Like if anything, I hope that you take one core thing from this and start implementing it into your business. And yet if all of this is like, oh gosh, Christine, that was a lot, then that means you need Unstoppable Sales. If you've got no clear high ticket offer, if you don't know how many of those you need to sell in order to hit your goals, if you don't know what I mean by creating connections online or in person that will actually move the needle and cause you to have more sales, then it's time to work on your sales. It's time to work on your business. And that's what we do inside Unstoppable Sales. Come and join us before the doors close. Have an amazing week. Thank you for listening, and if you found any value out of this episode, make sure you hit the follow button so you get access to the episodes as soon as they are live, and make sure you come hang out with me on Instagram. You can find me at ChristineCorcoran_coach. Have an incredible week.